Hey sports fans, and welcome to Inside Sports with Shawn Kowalyshyn. Now let's get right to it. First with college basketball. Both the men and women finished up last week, and we have two new national champs. For the men, it was Jim Calhoun winning his third championship as UConn's stingy defense held Butler to 18.8% shooting in the 53-41 victory. To no surprise, Kemba Walker was named the tournament's most outstanding player. Now to the women, it was a showdown with no UConn, Stanford, or Baylor, and it was Texas A&M and Notre Dame going at it. And in the end, Texas A&M ended up beating the Big East powerhouse. It was Texas A&M's first national championship win ever, and both now Gary Blair and Jim Calhoun have become the oldest coaches to ever win an NCAA title. Now to golf, pretty much the Masters, which just finished up this Sunday in Augusta. It was tight throughout, but in the end it was South African Charles Schwartzel beating out Adam Scott and Jason Day to win his first Masters. He shot a 14 under par. Tiger Woods tied for fourth, shooting a 10 under par. Now on to NASCAR. It was a Saturday night showdown at Texas Motor Speedway, and in the end it was Matt Kenseth ending his 76 winless streak, beating out Clint Bowyer and teammate Carl Edwards. He brings the win to Roush Fenway Racing. Greg Biffle and Paul Menard rounded out the top five. Now in NFL news, the judge in the trial between the players and the owners ordered both parties to go back to mediations to try and figure out a collective bargaining agreement, and these mediations will start Thursday, April 14th. The NBA season is wrapping up, but the teams for the playoffs are set. The 1 through 8 seeds now for the East are the Chicago Bulls, the number 1 seed, 2 are the Boston Celtics, 3 the Miami Heat, 4th the Orlando Magic, 5th the Atlanta Hawks, 6th the New York Knicks, making the playoffs, which is a big surprise for everybody. 7th the Philadelphia 76ers, and 8th the Indiana Pacers. In the West, the top team is the San Antonio Spurs, who had a great season, followed by the Los Angeles Lakers and Kobe Bryant, the Dallas Mavericks, the Oklahoma City Thunder, the Denver Nuggets, the Portland Trail Blazers, the New Orleans Hornets, and the Memphis Grizzlies. There are 2 games remaining in the season, then it's playoff time. For the NHL, the playoffs are set. In the East, the top seeded Capitals will take on the 8th seeded Rangers. The number 2 seeded Flyers, who kind of slipped towards the end of the season, will be taking on the Sabres. The Bruins taking on the Canadiens in a big rivalry game there. The Penguins and the Lightning. In the West, the overall best team in the NHL throughout the season, the Vancouver Canucks, will take on defending champs and 8 seed Chicago Blackhawks, which will be a great series of games to watch. The number 2 seeded Sharks take on the Kings. The Red Wings will take on the Coyotes, and the Ducks will take on the Predators. Looks to be a great bunch of games and a great playoff. Finally, to the MLB in this early season, some surprise performances have showed up, especially in the AL East. Let's look at top now. Sitting up top are the Baltimore Orioles with a 6-3 record, just showing what an influence Buck Showalter has been this season. Now looking towards the bottom, the Red Sox off to a slow start, a team favored to win it all, at a 2-7 start, but the Tampa Bay Rays even worse at 1-8. Now the Rays are in great trouble now with the retirement of Manny Ramirez, who was facing, instead of taking a 100-game suspension for getting caught using performance-enhancing drugs, he just retired. Now looking around the rest of the American League, the Cleveland Indians, to another surprise, leading the Central at 7-2, and the defending American League champions, Texas Rangers, off to a fast start at 9-1. Now to the National League, no surprise that the Philadelphia Phillies off to a 7-2 start with that fantastic pitching staff of Halladay, Oswalt, Lee, Hamels. And then looking down to the Central now, Cincinnati at 6-3, picking up where they left off last season, and Colorado off to a fast 6-2 start. So it's a young season, but it's shaping up quite nicely. That's all the time we have today. Thanks for watching. I'm Shawn Kowalyshyn, and this is Inside Sports.